my parish, my development, my life. UBC Radios, inspiring Uganda.
At UBC Radio, all our radio network across the country is committed to inform, entertain, educate, and transformation.
On radio, UBC should set its own example. Leka bano abatafa ku bantu baffe bagumaza ndowooza muganda kitwa okugumaza to divert people. Let our own UBC bring programs to educate the people so that abagala kugumaza babeereyo bagumaza naye naffe they can advise, guide. And people in time will judge the one who is their friend and who is just using them.
Tune into UBC Radios for credible socio-economic programs. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Broadcasting on 98.0 FM here in central Uganda. I welcome you to today's program. My name is Ivan Tumkunde, and you're listening in to the Young and Smart program, a platform that is here basically for you, the young people, to be able to come and discuss everything under the sun of our concern and seeing how we can be able to empower our country, Uganda, put a brick in making sure that Uganda becomes better and it becomes a place that all of us can be able to be proud of. Today, we're going to be discussing something that is of very, very great importance for us, the young people, majorly when it comes to the circles that we do have, the communities that we do come from. How can we be able to use our circles, or we can call it networking, for our personal development? The networks that you do have effective and impacting on you to become a better person. Today on the show, that's what we're going to be looking at and making sure that we can be able to get things on how you can have an effective network for your own development. And in studio, I have on my immediate left, in a black jacket, looking awesome, Patience. Welcome to the show.
So much. Thank you for having me. My name is Patience Nwagaba, and today, as young people, I hope we can delegate and talk more about effective networking. Yes.
Thank you, Patience. And I have Kamanzi in a blue short-sleeved shirt. Kamanzi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Yeah, I'm putting on a short-sleeved shirt, but I may not say I don't put on long ones. I can also put on a long short-sleeved shirt. Greetings to all our listeners. My name is Enoch Kamanzi, and I'm glad to be hosted here. Thank you so much, Ivan.
Thank you, Kamanzi. Patience, what do you do?
First of all, I am a student at Makerere University. And I'm currently in my final year pursuing a bachelor's in drama and film. I am a youth advocate, and I'm a member of Girls and Mentorship Space. To mention but a few, I am a founder of Story Junkies. We help people tell their stories, especially young creatives. Yes.
Thank you, Kamanzi.
Thank you so much, Ivan. I am a lawyer by profession, and I am a youth advocate. I'm the executive director of a youth-led organization known as Genius Generation Agenda. And as well, I'm a youth leader in the National Youth Council from Mubende District. And as well, I'm the clerk to the 6th National Youth Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamanzi. Patience, to begin with you. Kindly help us to be able to break down this topic of networking, not just networking actually, but effective networking.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. To involve building and maintaining relationships with people who can offer valuable support, sometimes advice and information, and even opportunities. Yes, for professional growth and personal development. Yes, so networking, in simple terms, could be establishing working relationships with people around you, and those relationships will specifically lead you to great places, and they help build you personally and socially, sometimes economically. Yes, so networking involves establishing those relationships with people that you've met for the first time, people you've been working with over time, to make sure you cultivate a good working relationship, and you can lead them to a place, or they can lead you to a good place. Yes.
Thank you so much, Patience. Kamanzi, in your perspective, what is effective networking?
Thank you so much. When you talk about effective networking, I can see two words in the same. There's networking generally, but then there's effective. Now, the effectiveness brings mostly how much you invest and who you do network with. Now, networking literally means you building a certain network to achieve a certain goal. But now effective means you not just build or network with each and every one that passes around, but specifically network strategically to achieve a certain thing, and you sure this person can help you achieve or be in a certain line.
Thank you so much. And in studio, again, we are joined by one of the regular panelists on the show, Treslin Ankunda. Welcome to the show. Kindly say hello to the listener. Treslin.
Hello, a very good afternoon. Treslin Ankunda is my name, and I'm a student leader and very passionate about women empowerment, and also a frequent panelist here on the program, Young and Smart, which I believe is doing so much for us, the young generation. Probably it's also a channel of networking that we are talking about today, because you get to meet other new people, but is it effective? I'm very much humbled to be part of this conversation, and I hopefully believe that by the end of this discussion, we shall not remain the same, and we shall ensure that we utilize our time to do profitable and effective networking in communities and people around us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Treslin. Patience, why is it in any way important for us as young people to network, and then after networking, make good use of those networks? Why is it so crucial?
Thank you so much once again. Now, networking could be the only thing, if I may say, that builds people to become the great men and women that they are. Yes. And Zig Ziglar once said, your is your net worth. Yes. So as people living in a community, we have to have a net worth. Yes. And that net worth only comes with the right connections. Yes. With the associations. And these associations help you to become a better self, because I mean, no man is an island. Yes. What you know, another person can tell it, you can tell it to another person, and they can be able to become a better self. And what you do not know, you can as well learn from another person. Yes. So it's important to cultivate a good networking culture, or to be very effective in networking, because it helps you become a better self. Yes, it helps you become a better self. And not only that, it puts you at platforms that, unless otherwise, if you were working alone, you would not be at. Yes. So, because most people who get jobs in offices, they are recommended. And you find the person recommending you, you've either met them at a conference, you've met them at a get together, some mutual friends from the people that we know. Yes. So keeping that line of communication active from a mutual friend or someone you've met at a party, any gathering whatsoever. yes, it helps you, one, get opportunities you wouldn't have gotten. And in general, it helps you become a better person.
Thank you so much, Patience. Kamanzi, as young people, at times we find we think we know much, we think we are better than others, and at most times we want to just go by what we believe in. Why is it important for us as young people to network, to connect, not only with ourselves actually as young people, but also with people that are mature enough, people that are from different geographical areas, people that have different ideas from ours? Why is it that important?
Thank you so much. Maybe to begin, we as young people usually have a problem of self-identification. Someone can even make 20 or 25, or can even finish university without actually not knowing where he does best. And it is only through networking that we can see someone doing something, you feel challenged and feel like, what about I tried it? What about I did this? You may be doing it in a certain way, and we see someone doing it in another way, and then you feel challenged and feel like, what about I tried his style? What would happen? So it's not advisable feeling like I can do it all or I know it all. You need to get fresh new ideas. You need to get new perspectives about something. Mostly us young people, we are expected not to be conservative. We are expected not to be rigid in the way we perceive certain things. So networking is the one that can only help you, that if I thought something is done in a certain way and I met patience can guide me and tell me, no, look, I do it like this and this and this. And eventually how we might be smarter and effective than mine. So networking, one helps to identify different perspectives on a different idea, identify new ideas, and also helps in self-discovery. Mostly when you do see something being done by someone and feel inspired, and then you want to do it as they do.
Thank you so much, Kamanzi. Treslin, how can one young person out there, because we are talking about, networking, effective networking, some people have problems of relating with others, that where you find there are 3 or 4 people, actually, for them, they'll move out. Actually, even when they get into public places, actually reach out or be able to make friends easily. How can one be able to build a network that is meaningful?
Thank you. Well, I must say that one of the key aspects that I take out to be from effective networking is the idea of influence, one, and two is the idea of belief. That if today I meet someone, get their contact, talk to them, they'll feel I have something to say to them. They'll feel I have some value to give. And so this might not only be attributed to what I say, but like they said, that how you appear. It could be your dress code at first sight, and someone automatically says, this one has something important they're going to put across. It could be how you look sometimes. It could be how you respect people and how you reach out to them. For example, you're talking to a manager of a certain company and you're like, yeah, your boss, so that alone might be a disadvantage to you, because the manager is going to look at in a way of, this child is really not giving me the respect I deserve. Yes, they are rare. There are those people that really would take it to be cool, most especially maybe those in our age. But believe you me, the people that feel there is a gap between us and them tend to see it as a sign of disrespect. And so because you have used a wrong approach, because you have used a wrong impression, you've appeared wrongly in front of this person, they do not take you to be serious. And so in the first place, you think maybe you go there, you take a picture and think you've done the network, but then the moment you leave, the director feels you have no value. You have no value. And how do you seek value? You seek value in having information. One, you seek value in doing research. Two, you seek value in really presenting key aspects that the person expects from you. So the moment you get off topic, the moment you have a different alignment in regards to the organization maybe you're reaching out to or to the person, it is going to be a hindrance to you. One thing I would advise us is that there is no situation that you must say, this is where I am positioned to be. What is most of us young people, we want to say that because me, I'm like that, I'm naturally like that, you cannot change me. Me, I just don't relate with people, and that's me. But I want to tell you that that's not you, because what are you benefiting as an individual? Trust me, there is power in you reaching out to someone. There is power in networking, because one thing I know for sure is that you might think the start is always hard, but then the mindset that you have, you positioning yourself in that package. You see, they say no situation is permanent, that you cannot, even when you think this is the happiest thing that has ever happened to you, or this is the baddest, all those are not permanent. Today it could be a bad thing, heal through it. Tomorrow it could be a good thing, celebrate and move on. Sometimes you don't need to keep singing the same thing that has happened over and over, because it sometimes blocks you from seeing that you actually need to do so much to get to a better you. So I think as the young people, one thing you must embrace is the idea of having independent decisions sometimes, because you're going to have a network of people. They're going to get you to the wrong path. They're going to get you to the wrong information. And in the long run, you're going to start criticizing 2 or 3 individuals as an entire ministry. You start saying, the Ministry of Gender, blah, blah, because you met 2 or 3 people who did not give you exactly what you expected. So position yourself in a way that when someone looks at you, they feel you have something different. They see uniqueness in you, and they see genuinity and humility. I feel that really credits you so much.
Thank you, Treslin. Patience, how have you been able to build networks that have impacted on your life? And actually, if you could share with us how those networks that you do have impacted on you and made you a better person.
Thank you so much once again. I am a person who is in the industry of entertainment and performance. And most of the places that you get to, you're either recommended by someone, or someone has seen you do something at a certain time. Yes. And I can confidently say talent is but talent alone if you do not plant yourself in the right way. Yes. I'll give you an instance. Recently, I've been working with Tebere Arts Foundation on a program. They've been running a show called Man to Man. And I got to get on that platform because I was recommended by one of my lecturers. Yes. And that happens because they've seen me do some kind of work somewhere, and they kind of trusted my mode of delivery. Yes. And say, showing up to places, even when you think you might not be given a platform. For example, if you are a young person who is interested in leadership, seek to find places where people are convening to talk about things to push politics or leadership in front. Yes, associate with people that you know have succeeded in that field that you are seeking to join. Yes, one of the ways I have achieved or gotten some of the connections, not really connections, but the networks that I have, yes, is showing up. Yes, show up, be present, and make sure if there's constructive happening, I submit if there is platform for me to submit. Yes, because if you show you are dedicated to do what you really want to do, that's noticeable. One person who is in an audience which you're addressing for the very first time, or in an audience that you're submitting to your own thought, yes, will know, oh, so and so is actually good at expressing this and this view. So and so can actually represent this group of people. Yes, and if they you and maybe you give them your number, reach out again. Keep contact. Yes, contact is one thing that most young people have failed to maintain. For example, at gatherings, a person asks you for your number, and especially the girl, if it's from a gentleman, sometimes meant to believe that they have ulterior motive. Yes, so don't make contact at all. One thing I can tell us as young people, you are not going to go anywhere, either with your art, either with your pursue whatever career that you want, if you do not have an active network. We are talking about effective networking, but that only comes when, one, you show places. Yes, media is one thing that is helping us a lot. Yes, and most of my connections that I've gotten are networks from social media. If you have something that you're working on, put it out there for the world to see. Yes, it does no harm even if you receive 1 or 2 views. Yes, next time better. I think that is disturbing us as young people, Mr. Moderator, is that we do not have patience. Yes, if we want something, it has to be gotten there and then. You assume that if I want to maybe join a community of people and I've shown my interest, why aren't they taking me up? Yes, you have to earn it. You have to earn a certain position. But that comes when you've proven yourself to be, one, reliable. Yes, that is when you're going to get an active network. So what I can tell the young people is be reliable, show up at places, because personally that's how I've gotten most of the things that I've been doing, and the work recommendations here and there. Show up, yes, and be patient. You can be the president of the country in just a year. I mean, it took our president how many years in the bush to fight and get where he is. Yes, Rome wasn't built one day. So I can tell the young people to trust the process. Trust the process, but work hard as well. Yes, so social media and events. If you see an advert for any event, as long as it is in line with what you want, you can get a network or two. Take someone's number and stick to what is going to be constructive to you. Yes.
There is something you talked about, girls on events, ladies on events. Maybe they've been asked numbers and they suspect maybe men are up to something that is not of that importance to them. How about actually if that is for their own protection? Because sometimes in the endeavor to network, many people have fallen into problems. Young girls have been kidnapped, young boys have been trafficked, people have been actually defrauded of their resources, basically in the name of networking. Someone comes to you, tells you they are going to link you up to this person, they are going to take you to places, and basically because you just want to be connected to that power or that kind of contact, you end up being misled. How can young people be able to network but carefully, not to be taken advantage of, and not to fall into any problems with the people they are networking with? Or in short, how can we make authentic networks?
Okay, thank you so much. Now, remember, we said networking most of the times, especially in the current times, begins with contact exchange. Yes. Talking to someone 1, 2, 3, 4 times before you actually agree to a physical meeting, that kind of gives you an establishment. But what I can tell my fellow ladies out there, 1, learn to be to be emancipated, yes, and stand up for yourself. Yes, if you want to reach a certain place and the person whom you see as a good network tells you, in order for you to get this and that, you have to do A, B, C, D, E. Yes, you do not lose anything by putting that opportunity whatsoever it is down and by sticking to your principle. Yes, as young ladies, you have to have principles. Yes, and when you network, take someone's contact, don't lose yourself. Like I said, patience will help you so much. When someone who has ulterior motives for you, you can wait and connect with the person that comes next. So I advise the young people, in order not to be trapped in the funds of people who masquerade being networks to benefit people, be alert. While you connect, it is really important that you keep the fact in mind that some people are predators. Some have lost all morality whatsoever. Yes, some people are out there to get people and trap them into places they would otherwise haven't been in. Yes, so as you network, 1, keep that. Yes, agree to physical meetings. Established that the person is not having ulterior, you can utilize meeting in public spaces. If someone gives you an opportunity and tells you, oh, come and meet me at my place at this and this time of the night, yes, there's no reason whatsoever, if you're meeting them for the first time, why you should agree to meet in a public space. Maybe we can go and have coffee at a certain cafe and then we can discuss the issues there. Yes, most of these people that we meet, maybe in the workplaces, maybe in the meetings and conferences and workshops that we attend, some of them come there to support people who give and desperate for opportunities. Yes, one thing I can tell you, utilize public spaces. If you're meeting a stranger for the first time, most agree to meet them in a public space. If someone invites and tells you, oh, I have a studio in Kansanga, come and find me there at 9 p.m. in the night, you are not going to blindly agree to that. You can tell them, you want to meet at 9 p.m., but my work ends at this time, so I can meet you between this and this time. Yes, and we can talk. If you have a job for me, we can talk between this and this time. And if they're not willing, or if they're not willing to meet you halfway the road, chances are that they might not be the right kind of person to associate with. But in conclusion about that, I say, 1, utilize public spaces, especially when you're meeting the person for the first time. And remember, exchange numbers doesn't mean you have to necessarily meet. I've seen people connect and get opportunities by simply utilizing virtual opportunities. People have worked and gotten millions of money by using social media. Yes, please keep that in mind as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patience. Kamanzi, how have you been able to build your networks, and how are those networks helping you to become better and impact on your life, but also on the lives of other young people?
Thank you so much. Now, building networks is an art, and I would believe everyone has his or her own approach accordingly. Mostly my sisters, I may not like to indulge in that, but they have that added advantage that however much patience is discouraging them not to, but I don't think someone would like to do something for when we are meeting for the first time or something. In most cases, our sisters get those opportunities, but it is for fourth time or fifth time we talk. We meet in public spaces, and until we agree to now advance. But for us gents, it's a different story. And another thing, building networks, mostly for us who are from humble backgrounds, you don't have an uncle in a certain ministry, you don't have an aunt somewhere,
You don't have a Gambano.
you don't have any Gambanog around. so it's you, us in Hustlers Association. Now, when you don't have a Gambanogo, you ultimately have to actually admit that your survival depends on hard work and earning it. Personally, I have just tried it in making sure I appear whenever I can get a chance to appear. That's one. Two, you have to make sure you are strategic. You know what you want and who you think can make you reach where you want. Mostly, as I said when I was starting on self-identification, people are thinking, looking for networks, but from all areas of life. You find I want network here, I want network here. People have thousands of contacts. They all call that all networks. Yes, it's fine, it's good. But in most cases, it is about being strategic. It is not how many people you do have, but it is how impactful are those people you have into your life. If you want to do something, if you pursuing a certain career, get people who have actually made it in that career, and you can talk to them. You can learn something from them. There's a growing vice or a very big problem that is creating a very big gap between young professionals and those who have actually advanced, that people think networks should come in financial means. If I network with Ivan, my target is how can I pull a 10K from him? Now, if I find that Ivan is hard to get that 10K from him, I distance myself from him. Actually, is not a network I would like. This is where we go wrong. It's all about, if someone sees that what you want is personal development, what I want is an idea and how I can make it, that is the better way. But now, the biggest problem with networking is that people want to turn the networks into monetary values as soon as possible.
Can we look at the issue of money as value, if that's the value they are looking for? Because we're talking about effective networking. So what if the only value that they see you can be able to add on them is money?
Thank you so much. Now, money is a value, but in most cases, money is a long-term asset. If I wanted to pull money from you, I don't think my approach, okay, there's, I may not blame the young people because in most cases we are on a survival mode. Someone is looking how to survive tonight. And if I get a 10K, that's all I wanted. But money should not be the target. Actually, money should not come as a network, because being a peanut that I'm going to pull from someone cannot transform someone's life.
Now, how are you going to be able to build a network from the other gender? Because honestly speaking, if it's not about money, Patience and Tresselin can be able to tell us. Majorly, they will say if the guy definitely doesn't have time, so you're networking for what? Huh? You're networking for what?
Yeah, that's a good one. As they come in, they will justify, but that's not networking. Mostly with my sisters, if they need money from me, literally, and I want to be open, that is exchange.
You see, you're big on your sisters.
Now, when they want that some from me, that is an exchange, because it will be trading. If I give you 10K, patience, trust me, I'll follow up on that 10K.
Wow.
I'll have, yes.
That's my agenda.
So, we should create draw and differentiate between networking. If you approach me and you want me to invest, I can invest, but with also expecting something. But if you come on other reasons, we can network in those lines.
You know the saying that goes, fear men. So more to fear this gender here. What?
Yeah, it's a misconception if we think these men are so that they can just give out their hard-earned money without certain other intentions.
Actually, I think they should be happy about men like Kamanzi, who openly tell you, I'm not just going to give you my 10K without expecting anything. It just come and invest without telling you anything until when you get to the time of accountability and you can't.
You have to file returns. So my sisters have to just learn that you can relate with me as I can relate with Ivan. Just we relate in opportunities and so on. But if you want to also move an extra mile, you have to read someone's mind, and if you wish, then you can ask for the money and so on. So also this thing of networking that Patience was talking about, that you go, certain people come in public spaces to actually see who can I take, and then those people are few, I may think. Don't think when you are in a serious public spaces, you can go there and someone is spotting your number to just come and end it at that. We should totally differentiate between effective networking for other purposes and networking for the purposes you're talking about. Someone should have one wife or a girlfriend. That's all. Now, why would I go to a certain conference to get more girls to add on the other? Because more girls, more burden. So you should not fear us.
That's your own thinking. If one girl can make you feel better, then they think, how about if you have 10? Maybe they'll make you feel much more better, which is definitely not right. But yeah, some will take it that way, and it's good that you're giving them that aspect that actually you can you have your one wife, your one girlfriend, and that's it, and you basically focus on that.
Yeah, the reason I brought that is that I have seen very many ladies being hesitant to actually network with gents in fear of this man may advance other wishes and each and everything. But not all men are after that. You can freely engage with them. If they try to approach you, don't run away, don't be rude. Tell them yes. If they try to approach you, just make sure you be open. Tell them, I don't like this, I like this, and we can still keep in touch. And if you also necessary, you can also talk to them and see how to conclude on that.
I think what you're trying to bring out basically here is being intentional on the networks that we do build from the word go, to avoid all the issues that Patience was talking about. You need to be intentional. If it's a male that you're going to do networking with, be intentional, and that will inform the way you talk, the way you present yourself, the way you dress, and all that, because all that communicates your intentions from the beginning, and it will help you not to miscommunicate to this person that maybe your agenda for networking is the other way. So we have to basically be intentional from the word go as you're networking with someone.
Okay, as I'm concluding on your question, now leaving out that issue, another effective way that has helped me, and it's being specific. You should actually make sure that people know you for a certain thing. You can multi-purpose, but you cannot do each and everything. If you called me for music, trust me, I will not appear. But try to make sure if someone is looking for someone who can do something, they have you in mind. Not more than 3 things. Get 3 things, perfect in that, and then make sure people know what you do and what you can do. Not touching here, then you here, then you here, then you here, you're not perfecting. Make sure you get one field and let people know you for a specific certain thing that you can do better. And that's then the line of networking you can always follow. Trust me, people will always call you up for a certain gigs that are in line of what you have mastered in doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Enoch. Trustlane,
Yes.
from all this conversation we've had so far, and from the comments by Patience and Enoch, how can we be able to draw the lines and know that if I'm going to do networking, actually this is why it stops? For example, if I'm building a better relationship, because you can actually do networking from within. You'd find you have a brother who has an opportunity, but actually they cannot connect you there because you never communicate. You don't have any relationship with the people within. But also, if you're to do networking with people from outside your circle, where do you put your limits? If I'm to do networking with someone's daughter, where do I put the limits not to mess up, and to make sure that if our relationship is about opportunities, to understand that there is this conference I believe Trustlin should be part of, and I connect you up. There is this gig that I do believe Patience can be able to deliver on. There is this service that is needed, and I believe Enoch is the right person to do that. I link up Enoch, but how do I draw the lines in order to protect myself?
Thank you. I must begin with the fact that you must embrace yourself as an individual. One, that you are unique. Two, that you have a purpose and you have a vision. You have principles and you're dedicated to your principles. Most of the times we have principles, but along the way, because of the environmental contributions, because of the social contributions, or sometimes even because of economic contributions, we find ourselves compromising our principles. And so the moment you have principles that you as an individual can easily compromise, then it means you're losing out on the goal and your reason. So I would definitely say that have a purpose and have clear goals. Principles help you create boundaries. Boundaries that you believe this is where I stop, this is what I should do, and this is not what I can never do. Otherwise, if you get a little pocket exchange and you are able to compromise your principles, then that alone is a score on you as an individual, because it will start like once you're like, today, let me just receive this money because you see, I don't have supper. So you think you're doing it for the first time, but trust me that will grow gradually. Each and every time you feel like, no, let me just, after all, people are taking much than I should. People are taking a lot than I'm actually receiving. So why not go for it? And then adherence to me is really key. Don't set your own targets and go against your own targets. In the first place, don't have the targets if you know that you're going to set targets that you as an individual cannot even afford to adhere to. So I would definitely say that boundaries, however much there is a lot of pressure and environmental contributions on an individual, we should have those things that we are sure that no matter what, this is what I stand for. That if I'm a girl and a man comes and they want to sleep with me, what is my say? Regardless of thinking that if tomorrow a man comes and they have a car and they have the money, and your mind now changes and it's like, but he's cute, he has the money, he has the car, and maybe you think that is what you want. We need to have long-term goals, because the short-term ones have tended to most of the times mess us up. you want something today, and so you think you must get it today, and so you do everything it takes for you to get it that day. But honestly, you will regret later because sometimes you've taken the wrong route. Sometimes you have done it because of pressure. Another thing I really recommend is that be calm in every situation you are in. Calmness is always key. Be calm as an individual and think. Don't do things because the other one is doing them. Don't do things because you think you're out of time. Don't do things because the other person is doing it much better than you. Appreciate the little that you do. That's if you're doing anything. And if you're not doing anything, try and do something. Get out of your comfort zone. There is so much beauty in networking. Personally, I'm a testimony of networking, if I may say, that even getting here is because you got to know someone, and so someone believes you can actually, speak up. So in every space, each and every space you go to, there is no space that you should think you are not supposed to be in if it has the right processes, if it has something that you have passion for. Personally, I'm passionate about speaking, and so, but mostly for girls. But if someone tells me, Tracy, this is an issue on, say, for example, networking today. These are issues that actually affect each and everyone, whether you are a woman, whether you are a man. And so they need collective effort, they need collective contribution. Let's not think that talking about things is wasting time. Let's not think that when someone talks about networking, that it is so much complex or that it is so much little that you don't need to give it attention. Tomorrow people are going to be coming and they're saying you're Gambanogo. But even you are there because people, the friends you have, the people you met in this and this and this thing are the people lifting you up. And then be trustworthy. Be trustworthy, because if people don't see trust in you, trust me, they're not going to call you up. Trust me, they are going to don't be chaotic, that in each and every event it is you who is going to quarrel, it is you who is always against everything. And you know what you think, you'll be like, no, I'm an opposition person. So even when you think this is sense, your mind and conscience tells you you must say something and oppose it. Make sure that what you intend to put across is actually a point, because words you're talking about are not just comments. People are viewing them, people are listening to them, and people are either getting to know that you can be impactful or you're doing vice versa. So to me, Ivan, I would say that networking is really very key, especially now for you people in media. I don't know if I was maybe a presenter like you, how many people I would know so far. Each and every time I have to meet around with new people. So yes, if I want to be, that is the target I'm saying, have boundaries and know your purpose. That the same way Ivan can network is definitely gonna be different from how I can network. Because for him, maybe he has a platform, he has a space, he can be able to reach out to, say, maybe the IGG, he can be able to reach out to maybe, say, director so and so, in capacity of himself, but then also in capacity of the space that he leads. So take up spaces, take up positions, because without those positions, it's going to be hard. Yes, you might maneuver through, but it is easier when you really have a space, when you really have a platform, because that is how you can communicate, and that is how people are going to see that I think there is something unique in Patience that I can buy in. I think there is something unique in Kamanzi that I can buy in. I think that there is something beautiful that Ivan has offered to us, the young people. So I would say it is up to you, like
Okay.
I've already said.
Thank you so much, Treslin. I'll give just 30 seconds to the other panelists, Patience and Enoch. Kindly, in 30 seconds, your last remarks in as far as networking is concerned for the young people listening.
Thank you so much, Ivan. What I would like to tell the young people is one, knowing that you have to network is a public no. Yes, the hard part comes when you have to be intentional. You have to wait upon people, those you've connected with, to get back to you. I can tell you the hard part is in waiting for you to get to where you want to get to. I can briefly say, young people, especially in this era, we are not emotionally mature.
Thank you,
Yes.
Patience.
So
Kindly, because of time, only 2 words from you, Enoch.
Thank you so much. One of the effective ways for networking is avoiding posturing. Young people have mastered the art of posturing. They say I am this when I'm not this. I say I cannot talk to patients for this because with patient thinks I am this, yet I'm not. So young people should avoid posturing, should accept what they are, and try to be better than what they are.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've had Enoch, I've had Treslin, I've had Patience in the studio, and we've been talking about effective networking for personal development. I do believe this show has impacted on you, and you've been listening to the Young and Smart program with me, Ivan Tumkunde. Make sure you catch this show again tomorrow at 10:15, and we're always here every Saturday at 3 p.m. Always catch the show to be able to transform your life. See you next week.
It's the Bundesliga, German football league at its best.
They've got the support of the crowd right behind them even before the game starts.
Tune in to UBC Radio every Saturday for the live game commentary, analysis and prediction.
Sané's gone from distance. Oh, Sané!
The Bundesliga, brought to you by Uganda Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with Deutsche Welle.
What a finish! Timo Hubers with a Bundesliga.
Sports at 2. Football.
The memory here.
Rugby. Basketball. Boxing. Athletics. Sports at 2. It's the Bundesliga, German football league at its best.
They've got the support of the crowd right behind them even before the game starts.
Tune in to UBC Radio every Saturday for the live game commentary, analysis and prediction.
Sané's gone from distance. Oh, Sané!
The Bundesliga, brought to you by Uganda Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with Deutsche Welle.
What a finish! Timo Hubers with a Bundesliga.
It's the Bundesliga, German football league at its best.
They've got the support of the crowd right behind them even before the game starts.
Tune in to UBC Radio every Saturday for the live game commentary, analysis and prediction.
Sané's gone from distance. Oh, Sané!
The Bundesliga, brought to you by Uganda Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with Deutsche Welle.
What a finish! Timo Hubers with a Bundesliga break.
a very good evening to you. To some other people, it is a good afternoon. My name is Diano Olwen Peters, and I'm very much privileged to have your company this very moment. Welcome back from the international break. Those who are not happy with what happened or transpired during the international break, things do happen. There are those who win, there are those who lose. So you have to be patient. Next time better. This is Radio, and this time round, whenever we reach this moment, we do build up for another match day in the Bundesliga. German Bundesliga is what we are talking about. Without wasting any single minute, I just want to quickly jump into what happened in this weekend as we came back from the international break. Remember, we had a couple of things that transpired yesterday across the globe in the sports world. But as we are building up for the weekend games, I want to quickly rush into what happened yesterday in the German Bundesliga as we returned from the international break. Harry Kane scoring his 300th career club goal as Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen drew to a Bundesliga thriller. Kane heading in for his 4th goal of the season in the German Bundesliga with 4 games already played. Harry Kane is just continuing with his goal scoring form. This guy doesn't stop scoring goals. And if you are asking me, to have him, the right word is they are blessed to have Harry Kane as their striker up front. Very instrumental for them. The other goal came from Leon Goretzka, scoring what looked like a Bayern winner with 4 minutes to go from Matthews Tel's cutback. But Ezequiel Palacios, a penalty awarded video assistant referee in injury time to rescue Leverkusen. Dayot Upamecano thought he had scored Bayern's winner with almost the last kick, but it was ruled out for offside. Came back, close range opener made him the first Bayern Munich player to score 4 goals in his first 4 Bundesliga games since Miroslav Klose in 2007. It brought his club career total to now 300 goals, with 280 for Tottenham Hotspur, 9 for Millwall, 5 for Leyton Orient, 4 for Bayern, and 2 for Leicester City. So when you are talking, I watched this game like, oh my God, this game on card is going to be a thriller. And Bayern were not going to have it easy. And indeed, it wasn't easy for them. Bayern with Bayer Leverkusen, whenever they meet, it is always a tight contest. It is a clash for the Titans. The games in the German Bundesliga that when you have it on your card, just know it is going to be an entertaining one. There is RB Leipzig, Bayern Munich. You have Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach. You also have Borussia Dortmund, Schalke 04. Those are some of the games in the German Bundesliga that will always live up to the hype. And this one yesterday, Bayern with Bayer Leverkusen, it was worth the hype, and it indeed lived up to the expectations of those who went to watch and those who watched. So there you go. Leverkusen both losing their 100% starts to the season but maintain their unbeaten records. This gentleman who left Arsenal, Granit Xhaka, going back to Bayer Leverkusen, he was very instrumental for Bayer Leverkusen. I know Alonso, wherever he is, he must be very happy that he was able to secure this gentleman. He was making some very nice forward passes. Very, very good with his passing accuracy being top-notch. He improved a lot under Mikel Arteta, and I know wherever he is, he must be appreciating the work that Mikel Arteta did for him while at Arsenal. So the game yesterday in the German Bundesliga on the 15th of September 2023, Bayern Munich at home 2, Bayer Leverkusen 2. Now more attention to another game that was coming this weekend. Okay, right now we have a couple of games that we have on card in the German Bundesliga. But before we get there, remember we also have a couple of games that were played in the previous weekend, and a couple of games that were played. We had teams like Augsburg 2, Bochum also 2. The other game we also had was Werder Bremen with Mainz 05. Werder Bremen beating Mainz 05 4-0. Hoffenheim 3. Wolfsburg 1, Stuttgart 5, Freiburg 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, Bayern Munich 2. That game didn't go down well for them on the 1st of September, being a Friday. It ended 2-2 as they were playing Heidenheim. Not very good for Tavic. I want us to turn our attention to the game that we have this moment. Away from the Bayern and the Bayer Leverkusen, we now turn our attention to FC Cologne against Hoffenheim. There is Mainz of Stuttgart. We also have RB Leipzig, Augsburg. That is another big one. Watch out for it. Freiburg, Borussia Dortmund. Surely Borussia Dortmund should be very, very much careful. If you look at the game they played in the previous encounter against Heidenheim, they didn't do so well being at home. We thought they were going to win that game. In fact, they were ahead in that game, but then later on they lost the lead, having been ahead with 2-0. They lost that lead, which wasn't really good being at home. But now you are going to play Freiburg, another team that also lost to Stuttgart miserably 5-0 away from home, being at home against Borussia Dortmund, who seem to be an injured lion in this one. Surely they'll be looking forward to try and at least amend their worries or try to iron out their concerns in this one. So Freiburg, Borussia Dortmund, another big game that we should be looking forward to in this one. Then there is also Wolfsburg against Union Berlin. Wolfsburg, by the way, they lost their game away from home in the previous one as they were playing Hoffenheim. They lost 3-1. They were the visiting team, and this time round they are playing Union Berlin at home. Are they going to bounce back? I'm sure they will. That is a Freiburg, VSL Wolfsburg. I believe they will be in position to bounce back in this one. But it's not going to be an easy one.